Excuse me?
What are you not doing?
He is filming me. I am one of the guys that taking care of the hotel in town.
Really?
Yeah.
You're
Shots.
from what? You're doing for what? Toyota?
Excuse me?
You're from what? You're doing it for what?
For the hotel?
The hotel? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, sorry, this is the French accent. I'm working my Southern accent, but I still have my French accent. Is that fine for you? Is that the same price? Ok. Bonjour à tous, c'est Joel d'Investir.us. Je suis ravi de vous retrouver pour cette vidéo. Alors, on va retrouver dans quelques minutes le maire d'Iuka dans le Tishomingo County. On est sur les bords du lac Pickwick dans le Mississippi. Joel Robertson, qui est le maire d'Iuka, nous a gentiment proposé une vidéo pour se présenter et présenter un peu plus la ville et puis la région. Donc voilà, je le rejoins dans quelques minutes. Si vous êtes prêts, suivez-moi pour cette vidéo. Joel, how are you?
Good morning, Julie. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Why don't we walk down in Jaybird Park and have a seat and visit a moment?
Absolutely. So thank you very much for this video, for the time. I think it will be interesting if you can introduce yourself to the people are watching us.
Absolutely. Be glad to, and we obviously welcome you and your whole community and your whole organization to our wonderful town, and be glad to introduce you to some of our special things we have to offer here.
You are the mayor of Iuka?
I am the mayor of Iuka. I've actually been in office less than a year. I was an alderman for 12 years. And Iuka actually was formed in 1857. And then Iuka is actually the county seat of Tishomingo County, and which Chief Tishomingo lived in Tishomingo County and actually in Iuka. And then we also have the highest point in the state of Mississippi, which is the only mountain in Mississippi that's 806 feet.
How many people living in Iuka?
A little over 3,000 in Iuka and right around 20,000 countywide in Tishomingo County.
Okay. And what kind of people living in Iuka?
Most of it is family oriented. We have a lot of activities and offerings for families as well. We have a lot of retirement in the area, and it's also a very Christian based community as well. So a lot of churches, as you can see, one in the background. We have a lot of churches, and it's a very just family community.
So I guess people to retire in the area are from outside the area mainly. From Memphis, I heard that?
Correct. Memphis, Huntsville. We actually have people from Illinois that come here, but they're looking for a retirement home. Our taxes are very low, so it's a good place to come. We're surrounded by water with Pickwick Lake around there, so you have access to water, you have access to family-oriented activities, access to churches, low taxes. So it's a very unique place to come and live. But we also have a lot of people who grew up here originally, and then they move back home to retire.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Pickwick Lake brings a lot of value to it. This is a big asset you have, lake life, as they say, you know.
It is. This area is very, very busy with traffic during the summers, the summertime. And we're about to kick into that season. Definitely a boost to our economy during that time of the year. And we have marinas in the area, boat storage, camping. We have a lot of camping because we're surrounded by two state parks, one in Iuka and one a few miles outside of Iuka and Tishomingo State Park. Okay. So we're well blessed in our county to have two state parks.
You just mentioned the tourist is part of the economy, or maybe a big part of the local economy. But yes. I know there is also some industrial company that have their site on the lake, on some facility they have on the lake.
We do have over 1 million visitors come through Iuka over a year, and a lot of it is the lake, but a lot of it is a lot of other things. We have a beautiful downtown. We have two parks within our city, as we're in Jaybird Park, and then we also have Mineral Springs Park, who has water that won in the 1908 World's Fair in St. Louis, won the best water in the country. We have some of the greatest technology in an industry that's using the technology, because our local school system actually has a robotics program that feeds those students into that program, along with manufacturing to aerospace engineering. So we have a whole wide variety, but tourism again is a large part of it. And with your investments, with the hotels coming, that is a great need that also is making other things boom in our area.
Yesterday I stopped by Northrop Grumman site, and I saw the community college is very, I guess this is very connected with that site, and this is maybe what you mentioned about the robotic program. Is that connected to the community college?
Well, it's actually at our local high school and our career and technical center, but the community college, Northeast Mississippi Community College, does have a off-campus site at the Yellow Creek site. So we have a wide variety of tying everything together. We have groups that meet with the education and the business and the industries to formulate what those needs are. So we're preparing students that can also go to college, but also that want to go directly into the workforce. And that's the object with the, obviously with education, is to tie those together, because every student doesn't need to go to college or want to go to college. If they want to, obviously we want them to, because we're in education, but the other side of it is that some just want to go to work and do a trade, and those jobs pay very well as well. So.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I when I came first time here, I was very surprised. There is a big contrast. You just driving into the country, and at some point you have this big facility center with big industry. So I mean that's super cool. You have to have this contrast. So you still have the rural life, the small town life. And
yes.
With big jobs coming, but I guess you need more maybe accommodation facility for people living here too, because if the industry growing with new jobs coming, at some point people need to live somewhere.
We don't have enough housing for people to come in. A lot of our workforce comes outside of the county or outside of the city, comes into the county, and then they drive back because there's no place for them to live. And that's for all ages. Now, one of the great things we do have, though, is our greatest asset in our city, in our county, are our people. We have great people that are family oriented, that are the old country South. I'm going to bend over backwards to help you be successful in whatever that is. And they take care of their family, and everybody's like a family. But the need for housing definitely is a big issue, because the workers, you want them to stay here to improve your economy, and the closer they are to work, most people like to work close to work. So they've got access to ball fields and activities that their children can be involved in, instead of having to drive home 30 minutes or an hour to get to those activities. It shortens the family time. And of course, we're a big family-oriented area, so family time is very important.
There is good people, I feel
yes.
that I now running a couple of business in town and
yes.
in the region, and yeah, we have no problem finding good people working for us.
Yes.
And that's also something, tomorrow if you want to build or to be an investor on owning something here, I'm not concerned about having any tenants here. Of course you need to screen good people, but I mean,
right.
Usually people have a good mind, on the
yes.
the southern mind, and
right.
more maybe the countryside mind. There is not the same problem that big urban area can have in the US. This is what I feel. First time I moved in the US, I live in Miami, and
yes.
very different, but also very different kind of problem as an owner, as a landlord. I think that what we can have here, this is my feeling. And,
right. Well, you definitely fit in here well, obviously, and as we were talking about earlier, Iuka and Tishomingo County is very familiar to the landscape in France. We're hilly in our area. We have the mountain and surrounded by water, and you can just go through the back hills driving down the roads, and it just feels like home.
Yeah.
And it's a very slow-paced community. Everybody works hard, is dedicated, but once they go home, they spend time with family, rather than being, like you said, in Miami or somewhere where it's just kind of, we call it the rat race all the time. Here, it's just everybody's family oriented and just settle down and enjoy spending time with their friends and family.
So just a last word for some investor coming from Europe, if some French are interested to know more about the area, or maybe to make an investment here in the real estate industry. What's some advice you can give them?
First of all, they'll never find better people to be around and a better community to come into, because we are very welcoming, as I hope you have felt over the last several years of welcoming new people into our community. Once you get here, most people want to stay, and at that point, we try to bring you in and help you fill your needs and make you successful, because if you're successful, our city's successful and our families are successful, because the more we have to do, the more things we have for our children to do. And that's one of our big things, is we're very family oriented, and we want opportunities for our children to stay here, but we also want opportunities for the families to live here, and we want those opportunities for them to work here. Because many years ago, one of our biggest issues was not only housing, but was where they're going to work. So everybody, graduates high school, goes to college, and they go off and work somewhere else.
Yeah, I heard that a lot of people move to Chicago. I know
Yes.
this is the big city where some people move. I mean, some generation, maybe in the 60s or 70s. I heard.
They've moved a lot, and it's still been true except for the last several years as the town is, because as you well know, we are really growing at this point, and as we're doing that, more and more students want to come back home, those former residents, and we want our families to come. I want my children to work here. If they want to be here, I want them to work here, and I have two that have finished college, and they're both able to work here. And I have another one in high school that if he wants to stay here and work here and live here, that option needs to be available. And that for investors, you will not find a better place to come into and invest, because you'll be very happy, and once you get here, you'll decide you want to stay. So.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for all this feedback, explanation, and your point of view as a local, as a mayor, and you also be part of the school district, I know.
Yes.
So that's also a good point of view, because education is a big part of all of that. I think this is maybe the main part, to have something successful that starts with what we learn too.
Absolutely, and our education system is one of the top notch in the state, if not the nation. And we're a rated A school district in the state of Mississippi, which is the highest rating you can have. So, and we do promote that. Is education is where it all starts. So that's a big part of that. But I just want your people to know that you're friendly, and I hope they see this in this video, that our friendliness and our being welcoming is because we want you to come into our family. And by doing that, then you become part of our family, and everything just grows and goes from there. And as you know, being here is a beautiful place. Iuka is a beautiful place to visit. Tishomingo County has so much to offer as well, so we welcome. And one other thing is we do have the only drive-in theater in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
that's,
we're
that's
still,
a big,
and it's a big thing.
The driving to get like to watch a nice movie. This is really part of the U.S. picture,
It is.
caricature.
It is definitely unique for the area. So yes, it is open in the summer as well, which drives a lot of tourism actually to come to our local drive-in movie theater.
Oh yeah,
so.
This is part of the lake life of Iuka too. I'm sure people can enjoy the boat life on the day, and at night having a nice movie at the movie theater.
At the movie theater, absolutely. And one of the other things is, like you see in the background of some of our local businesses, most of them are family-owned type business, like yours that you're invested in, and so many of them are so unique to other areas that we have a lot of tourism that comes in just to visit our local downtown shops, and not only downtown but the rest of the part of the town. So that's a great investment, because we're out of retail space right now.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. Good to see you again. Yes, sir. You
too.
too.
And thank you for the video.
Yes, thank you.
Merci beaucoup de nous avoir regardé sur cette vidéo. J'ai été ravi de pouvoir vous partager l'avis et la présence du maire d'Iuka, qui a été vraiment gentil et nous a accordé du temps. On est vraiment ravis d'être ici à Iuka. Les officiels sont vraiment nous supportent énormément dans tous nos projets. Ils sont vraiment très excités que les choses se passent. Ils ont vraiment envie que les choses également avancent. Comme l'a dit également le maire Joel Robertson, il y a vraiment besoin de construire ici du logement de qualité, parce qu'il y a très peu de logements à vendre, et ce qui est à vendre est vraiment de mauvaise qualité. Donc c'est ce qu'on essaye de faire ici, ce qu'on a commencé à faire maintenant il y a quelques temps. Si cela vous intéresse d'en savoir plus sur Iuka, le Tishomingo County, et plus largement bien sûr Pickwick Lake, puisqu'on est ici à Pickwick Lake, n'hésitez pas à nous contacter. Une seule adresse, contact@investir.us, ou directement le lien en description. Vous pouvez nous soumettre votre projet, et où vous pourrez bien sûr nous en dire plus. On pourra revenir vers vous à travers un call pour pouvoir explorer ensemble les solutions qu'on peut vous offrir. Je vous dis à bientôt, bye bye. How many burger do you recommend per person?
However many you want.
Yeah, I mean usually two for lunch.
The little small ones, it's usually most people get